Hey everyone, Josh here, Wargaming Noob Historical, back with another instructional video. This time around we are talking about building a basic platoon for bolt action. It's a very simple process, especially if you're just getting into the game. This is probably the best tool that you're going to have in order to build up your first platoon. So go to easyarmy.com, go ahead and click on bolt action, and then once again bolt action. And you will be dropped off into this area where you're going to be able to create your platoon. You also have an area that has saved platoons. So if I click on this, you'll see that I do have some platoons already created. But for the purposes of this video, we're just going to go ahead and create a new platoon. Now again, this is the most basic way of creating a platoon. In the next video for this series, we'll talk about how we can get more granular in terms of creating your platoon for bolt action by targeting, certain campaign books or certain forces based on what it is that you want to play. But for the purposes of this video, we're just going to talk about the basic platoon build. We're going to go to new platoons, and at this point, I'm going to go ahead and choose the United States. And this applies to all of the nations for army building. What you want to do, if you are just getting into bolt action, if you have just purchased, let's say, Band of Brothers, one of the two-player starters, or even just a box set of infantry, you want to go ahead and choose U.S. Reinforced Platoon in this example, or if you're playing Germans, the German Reinforced Platoon. This option allows you to have all available units and vehicles open to you in terms of building your first platoon here. The other platoons are based on the time period of the war or based on a specific campaign, and will have limited units available because of the historicity of that particular campaign or location or period of war. So, all right, as you can see here, you have a couple things here in red, and what that denotes is that you have to have these before you can include anything else in your platoons. These three highlighted sections are your base platoon, and then after that, depending on the point total that you and your opponent want to play at, that's how you build up your platoon. Okay, so I like to play bolt action at 500 points just because it makes me think more efficiently about how I want to build a platoon. Also because I play solo a lot, makes it a lot easier for me to keep track of things. So with that said, we'll go with 500 points. We'll go to the officer, and I don't know if there's too much of a difference between having first lieutenant and second lieutenant. Each officer will have 3 different levels of experience. Certain selectors, and that's what this is. This is a generic selector, but certain selectors have are locked in place in terms of having what kind of experience level. Like, for example, U.S. Airborne, because they're veteran troops, their lieutenant or officer will be set at veteran. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and choose a first lieutenant. I'm going to put him at veteran because I am doing a generic U.S. Airborne. I'm going to put 1 veteran bodyguard. This gives the officer and the bodyguard the small teams role, which make them a little harder to hit. And again, the way your models are built out are what denotes what weapons they're going to have going into the battle. So if they have a pistol or a submachine gun, rifle, or anything like that, that's what they're going to have. Unlike certain sections of the selector, you don't have to pay for the weapons options for your officer and the bodyguard. So whatever they're modeled with is what they're going to have on the sheet. So we're going to go ahead and save and go back. We're going to go with infantry squad because I'm doing a U.S. Airborne late war. I'll go ahead and choose veteran paratrooper squad late war. Again, I'm doing small squads because I only have 500 points to spend. I'll have an NCO and 5 veteran infantry at 84 points, and this is where you add your options. I'm going to always put the submachine gun on the NCO. Submachine guns are nice because they have the assault special rule, which doesn't give them the negative modifier for moving and shooting. Also, this is a close range weapon. So because I'm choosing this, and then adding the BAR here for 5 more points, that gives me the option for this particular squad to shoot at different range bands as they are further away or closer to whatever they're shooting at. I'm foregoing the light machine gun because I can't justify 20 points for the machine gunner, and then obviously it's going to take one of those guys to be the loader. So we will give them anti-tank grenades just in case they do come up against armor. So that gives them, I think, in my opinion, a more versatile build. You have a short-range weapon, you have a long-range weapon, and then everybody else is kind of in the middle with rifles. We're going to mirror that in the second squad. So again, 1 NCO and 5 veteran infantry, some machine gun, BAR. In fact, there are some selectors where you can have 2 BARs on the squad, but this particular selector does not have that. So, and then we'll do the anti-tank grenades, save and go back. So that brings me up to 311 points. At this point, based on what you have point total wise, what you're going to play your game at, you can add armor, you can add support weapons, all that stuff. I'm going to add a medium machine gun team. We'll give them veteran as well at 65 points. That brings me to 376. And then finally, I want to add something else. I want to add my Greyhound. And we'll see if I can actually fit this in here. We'll go with regular because I don't think I can fit anything. I'm going to forego the HMG on this. And that brings me to 486 points. Maybe. Oh, we're already at veteran for that. You want to kind of get as close to your point total as possible. And I don't think I can with any of these options here. So at this point, I'm as close as I can get to 500 points. So let's go ahead and view what the list looks like. So, platoon number 1, I got 5 order dice at 486 points. Here's your stats for your lieutenant and the the bodyguard. Then the 2 squads, the medium machine gun team, and then the Greyhound. And then what's nice about Easyarmy is that it does give you some of the special rules, but I don't believe it gives you all of them. So always have your bolt action rule book handy in order to look up certain things. But yeah, and that's pretty much it. It's as easy as that. It gets more complicated when you want to use a selector for a specific theater of the war, a specific time period of the war. And we'll go through that in the next video in this series. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I appreciate it if you would. Click the bell notification icon to get notified of all new bolt action instructional videos coming out of the channel. And then click the link in the description below to join our Discord server. That's the best way I could personally interact with you and chit-chat you about bolt action and any other games that I play on the channel. That's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more bolt action, learning bolt action from Wargaming New Historical.